with it. That's pretty good advice, isn't it?
Well, we could say your whole mouth, really, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Because it's about what you're putting in and also what perhaps you're putting out
isn't that
and what
life?
you're saying.
Indeed.
Yes, but it's the alcohol can be the biggest problem at Christmas parties.
Make an effort to get to know newer colleagues, or those perhaps not even necessarily newer, I wouldn't suggest, but people you don't really come across all that much during the year.
That's an excellent idea. I still recommend Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. And that gives such good guidelines about how to chat to people, how to learn about them.
Yeah.
Because all the information that you learn you could use later on for your own advancement.
Sure. And let go of past tensions. Well, that is what forgive and forget, you mean?
You bet.
Yeah. Enjoy, but don't forget there's going to be a tomorrow. That's a pretty obvious one too, isn't it?
Yes.
Would you agree, Janet, that the major problems with Christmas parties, in my experience anyway, booze, sex and gossip?
Yes.
Was that fair enough?
You bet.
So, what are you suggesting? I mean, don't overdrink, by the way, but in a scenario, say, for example, if your boss, if somebody on whose, you know, your job depends on, if he comes on to you, what should you do?
Well, you have to be gracious somehow because you don't want to, you know, ruin his ego because then every time he sees you in the future, he'll say, oh, you're the one that's embarrassed me or put me down. So being gracious is about being able to say to somebody, a corny line, but I still use it, you could light up my life, but there's already a globe in the socket.
Yeah, well, there you go. And what would he say? Smart ass, you're out. No. But that's not a bad line, though, is it,
It's a great line.
A little prepared.
Can't go wrong with that line.
No. OK, and what about this other scenario where there is somebody you don't like and you don't get along very well with during the year? Is it best to avoid that other person?
Yes, very best to avoid them altogether. But if you have to, think up some things that you can compliment them on.
Yeah.
And that way that you're building up your ammunition of good things. Then next time they see you, they won't think, oh, that's that person that always, you know, makes me prickle.
Sure. I think also it's pretty important for people who go to Christmas parties also to, if they have any doubts as to who a stranger is there, to find out who it is before you approach them, because it could be anyone. I mean, it could be the boss's wife whom you've not met before, it could be their son or their daughter or whatever, or it could be somebody that maybe it's best to stay away from. Absolutely,
yes. The more you find out about people, the more you can calculate the kind of impression you want to make.
I don't go to too many Christmas parties, but years ago I used to, and this is a true story. I went to a Channel 9 Christmas party, and we had a new boss, a new managing director, and this was why I was so interested before when you were talking about the boss. And I knew that he was bringing family in, including his son, who was a teenager, and saw the teenager and decided you wanted to do the right thing and so forth, and got him drinks and got him a little party pie and the whole thing. Got the wrong bloke. It was New Kid and Props. And he went on to think I was the nicest man at Channel 9. I had never had enough gumption to tell him, but I thought he was somebody else. Just one final tip for us on Christmas parties?
Get yourself a buddy, you know, somebody else who's about the same equivalent status as you, and so you can check in and keep giving each other feedback. And, you know, if you are too pissed, so to say, that your buddy will say, look, no more, let's catch a taxi home.
One final tip I reckon that I could give, and I'm sure you'd concur, and that is that if you really feel like kicking on later in the night and, you know it's going to be quite a big night, leave the party, thank everyone for giving such a great party and kick on elsewhere.
Absolutely, yes. Make them two different things.
Yeah. Good. That's good advice always. I'm off to Maxim's now. Bye, everybody. Please thank Dr. Janet Hall. And a happy Christmas to you.
Thank you.
And these roses are for you. I hope you had a lovely birthday on Wednesday. Janet Hall. Now on G&A, here's Ed.
A truckload of letters are saying that this man is the greatest, because when it comes to cleaning, who